We would, but we need you to show up, sir. Bond's going to be 10,000 personal. Next court date, probable cause conference on May 22, preliminary exam May 29. That's both in front of Judge Giles. Just as a note of caution, sir, if you miss a date in front of Judge Giles, he'll have no problem making your bond $20,000 or $30,000 cash. So you want to make those dates. All right. Have a great day. You step aside.
It's the 28th. It was a typo. I'm sorry. We had one. So the gentleman is still in the form. I just wanted you to know.
Oh,
But I
okay.
updated the file and everything.
Okay. So Mr. Harris, right?
Yes, sir. I did put it on the file. Just want to bring it to your attention.
So your next date will be the 28th as opposed to 25th. Okay.
28th, which judge? This is for Judge Stafford Jones. I'm sorry, Millhouse. Forgive me. Millhouse.
Okay, and,
It was 1,000 person.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. And gentlemen at DDC, what's your name, please? Man, I can't hear what those microphones over there are really bad. Can you say that one more time, very loud? Jalen Stribling. Thank you, sir. And we're going to start with some traffic tickets where you missed some court dates. When you miss those dates, a judge issued an arrest warrant for you. You do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You also have the right to an attorney, and if you cannot afford an attorney, the court will provide one for you. Do you understand those rights, sir? All right, give me 1 second, and I will give you a new date where hopefully you can take care of all these tickets. First ticket is P1093856. Charges of improper plates, no insurance misdemeanor, driving while license suspended. Ticket P1099035, driving while license suspended. P1099569, driving while license suspended, improper plates, no insurance misdemeanor. And P1597465, disobeying lawful order of a police officer. These are all misdemeanor charges. Maximum you face on each is up to 93 days in jail and or a $500 fine. I'm going to set aside the arrest warrants, enter not guilty plea on your behalf, and give you a personal bond. Your next court date is a pretrial May 27th in front of Judge Archer here in 36th District Court. Your other matter today is 25-057570, State of Michigan versus Jalen Douglas Stribling. Counsel.
Thank you, Magistrate. Good afternoon. Steve Benson for the people.
Deliberate on behalf of Mr. Stribling, waive the reading, stand mute. Your Honor, he's been advised of his rights.
Court will enter not guilty plea on your client's behalf as to bond.
Magistrate, here we're going to be asking for a 10,000, 10%. In the alternative, we're going to be asking for a tether as well as a curfew. At the very least, Magistrate, we're going to be asking for a no contact whatsoever with Grand Circus Park. This case is part of a brand new initiative that includes Judge Holmes to have that park rehabilitated. And as you can see in these particular allegations, we have basically a sting by police officers where this defendant was found to have cocaine. Magistrate, there is a level of danger here. This defendant is on probation for 3 years out of Third Circuit for larceny of a person. He was just convicted in the middle of 2024. At the end of 2022, this defendant was convicted of fleeing as well as 2 counts of domestic violence, ended up spending a year in jail. And now, while on probation and while just recently let out of jail for that other conviction, we have this defendant in Grand Circus Park, where people just like to frequent. It's a beautiful park in the city of Detroit, conducting illegal activities. So respectfully, we're asking for the cash. We would like you to consider some type of monitorization with a curfew, but at the very least, we would be asking for a no contact with Grand Circus Park.
Thank you.
Judge, location incident, Woodward and Adams, no objection to no contact with that area, Judge. I asked for personal bonds, possession less than 25 case, not assaulted. So my client does live in the city, so he has ties here, Judge. For purposes of bond, I'm just asking for personal, no drugs of any kind, obviously no weapons of any kind, no contact. We wouldn't object to no contact to that area. Because, I don't think that's really relevant, but no
Is
drugs.
your client working?
Judge, he is not even in the process of looking for employment at this time.
Thank you. Sir, while this case is pending, you are not to use or possess any illegal controlled substances. You have no contact with Grand Circus Park. You will be on a GPS tether on house arrest. If you leave your house, you're going back to jail. Is that clear? Total set bond at $10,000 personal. Next court date is May 22, probable cause conference, May 29, preliminary exam, both in front of Judge Taylor here in 36th District Court. Thank you, sir. You can step aside.
Thank you, Magistrate.
Mr. Cameron, say the full name. Torres Travis.
Thank you. And this will be case 25-057576, State of Michigan versus Torres Tydell Travis Jr. Counsel.
Lisa Coyle, appearing on behalf of the people.
Great, on behalf of Mr. Travis, Your Honor, waive the reading stand mute. He's been advised of his rights.
Court will enter a not guilty plea on your client's behalf as to bond.
Your Honor, people recommending a $2,000 personal bond. I don't see a prior criminal history. This is a traffic stop. It's non-assaultive.
No objection, Judge.
Thank you, sir. While this case is pending, you are not to possess a gun at any time. Is that clear? Court will set bond at $2,000 personal. Next court date is probable cause conference in front of Judge Robbins on May 20th. Preliminary exam in front of Judge Taylor on May 27th. Thank you, sir. You can step aside.
Dante Travis.
Thank you, sir. We're going to start with some traffic tickets where you missed some court dates. When you miss those dates, the judge issued an arrest warrant for you. You do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You also have the right to an attorney, and if you cannot afford an attorney, the court will provide one for you. Do you understand those rights, sir?
Yeah, I already went to that.
Okay, so I'm going to give you a date, sir, and resolve these, you believe, previously. You'll have an attorney at that hearing, and you can work that out with the judge at that time, okay?
Okay, so do I get a bond?
Now, you get a personal bond on all of these, so you don't have to pay to get out. I don't know about what your main case is, though, so we'll get to that in a minute. All right, first ticket is P 1561369, and charge of disorderly conduct. P 1394442, loitering. P 1409528, loitering. P 1460736, loitering. P 1605077, trespass and disorderly conduct. And P 1608399, loitering and disobeying lawful order of a police officer. Something of a pattern there, sir. These are all misdemeanor charges. Maximum penalty you face on each is up to 93 days in jail and or a $500 fine. I'm going to set aside the arrest warrant, enter a not guilty plea on your behalf, give you a personal bond. Your next court date is A pretrial, May 27th, in front of Judge Ramsey Heath here in 36th District Court. Next case is 25-057-575, State of Michigan versus Dante Chauncey Travis, counsel.
Thank you, Magistrate. You've been sent for the people.
John, right on behalf of Mr. Travis, waive the reading stamp, he's been advised of his rights.
Court will enter a not guilty plea on your client's behalf as to bond.
Magistrate, this is more the resisting. There weren't any injuries. I believe the defendant was just arraigned a couple of days ago for an outstanding warrant, excuse me, a felony malicious destruction of property. That was non-assaultive, Magistrate. At this time, we're not going to be objecting to a personal bond.
No objection, Your Honor.
Court will set bond at $5 personal. Next court date is May 22, probable cause conference, May 28. Preliminary exam, both in front of Judge Jefferson. Mr. Travis, I will tell you that if you miss that date in front of Judge Jefferson, she will likely set your bond at $30,000 cash. You understand? All right, you can step aside, sir. Where are we walking? Hi, sir. What's your name? You said Ernest Walker? Thank you.
Magistrate, just to let you know, the way I saw it, these were just tickets. So if I'm correct, the people are not going to be appearing.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I've got as well. Yes. Okay, thank you. Yeah, that's fine. I don't think he's gonna suddenly, erupt in anger and. All right, sir, this is, let's see, you do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. Are you appearing on this one, Reagan?
No, Judge, I believe this is a Z ticket, so it's a ticket.
Yeah. Okay. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You also have the right to an attorney, and if you cannot afford an attorney, the court will provide one for you. Do you understand those rights, sir? All right, this is gonna be ticket Z 808601 with a charge of operating with a high blood alcohol content. It's a misdemeanor. Maximum penalty you face is up to 180 days in jail and/or $700 fine and/or 360 hours community service, and a number of other things such as rehabilitative programs and that sort of thing. What was the alleged content? Blood draw results, alleged content is 0.209. I am going to put you on an alcohol tether due to that high blood alcohol content. You are not to consume alcohol at any time while this case is pending. Do you understand, sir? Next court date is a pretrial May 27th in front of Judge King here in 36th District Court. Thank you, sir. You can step aside.
So, Judge, I apologize. Did you say you were putting him on an alcohol tether, or you were not? I apologize.
I am.
Okay.
I am putting one up.
Well, Judge, could I ask you not to put him on alcohol tether? And I understand that it is a high VAC, Judge. I would know that say, what judge is this going to go before you? I apologize.
Looks like King.
King. And Judge, knowing Judge King, I know he's going to look at that. He's going to make a determination. And I know we get a lot of OWIs that come to Raymond or they go straight to the judges. But if I could have an opportunity to speak with Mr. Mr. Walker a little bit more, Judge, because I just have a couple more questions for him. If we could recall this, maybe I would appreciate it.
So what do you want him to go to camera two? So
Yep.
you guys can talk
Go
with
to
him or what?
real quick, Judge, so we can keep moving. We can keep moving. Go to camera 2. Yep.
PDC, can you put him on camera two, please? Thank you.
Next man.
All right. Who do we have?
Bush and Jackson.
Bush and Jackson. All right. All right, Dee. Okay. What's your name, sir? Thank you. And this will be, let's see, we're gonna start with some tickets where you missed some court dates. When you missed those dates, excuse me, a judge issued an arrest warrant for you. You do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You also have the right to an attorney, and if you cannot afford an attorney, the court will provide one for you. Do you understand those rights, sir?
Yes, sir.
All right, first ticket is you, 688-212-24, with a charge of possession of drug paraphernalia. Second ticket is P155-3280, charge of loitering. These are misdemeanor charges. Maximum penalty faced on each is up to 93 days in jail and or $500 fine. I'm going to set aside the arrest warrants, enter not guilty plea on your behalf, give you a personal bond. Your next court date is pretrial in front of Judge Wagner on May 27th here in 36th District Court. Your other matter today is 25-045-283, State of Michigan versus Imbra Middleton. Counsel.
Lisa Coyle appearing on behalf of the people, Your Honor.
Judge Philip Reagan on behalf of Imbra Middleton. Waive the formal reading, Your Honor. Stand mute. He's been advised of his rights.
Will enter a not guilty plea on your client's behalf as to bond.
Your Honor, in this matter, I'm asking for, I have no objection to a personal bond, but I'm asking for a tether. I do understand it's a retail fraud second from the Family Dollar, so I would also add a condition of no return there. But he has right now 4 other pending cases. He has another retail fraud. The date of offense was April 27th of 25. He was just arraigned on that on the 29th of April. He received a $5,000 personal. He also has another retail fraud from April 1st. He was arraigned on that matter. He also has 1 failure to appear, and he's set for a pretrial in front of Judge Bryant on that. She has not put a capias in the record as of yet, but there is a failure to appear on the ROA. His third case that's open it occurred on June of 24. He was arraigned in April of 25, given a $1,000 personal bond. On the 16th of April, he also failed to appear on that matter. And he has a scheduled pretrial on the 30th of April, or he did, and it hasn't been updated since that. And then he has his 4th case, which is a case from April of 2019, also a retail fraud. On that matter, he was arraigned in August of 23, given a $5,000 personal, and he has 6 failures to appear. And that is as well, that 4th case is scheduled for a pretrial before Judge Bryant. So for these reasons, I'm asking for a $5,000 personal bond, but with a tether.
Thank you.
So he does have some prior contacts with retail fraud cases, Judge. Everything is up to date. Everything is always also scheduled in front of Judge Bryant. Judge Bryant has dealt with whatever issues that have been in the past because he's all scheduled right now. No outstanding cases, no outstanding warrants to my knowledge as of right now, except for this case, Judge. This is from Family Dollar. I would agree, no contact with the Family Dollar, but I am asking for personal bond, Judge.
So, Ms. Coyle, of those cases, the other cases that you mentioned, how many of them have capiases currently?
3 out of the 4. 3 of the 4 have capiases on them. The last one that he was arraigned on April 29th does not, because he probably doesn't have a date yet for his pretrial till the.
Okay. Your client working, counsel?
He is not, Judge. So I want to just be clear. Are we talking about current capiases or previous case? I know he had one, he was capious 6 times, then he got a date. Are we talking about currently in warrant status with no dates, or he had previous cases on all those cases?
No, what I'm saying is that he's had the capias on all those matters. The one in 19 having, what did I say,
About six of them.
6 of them. And then the ones that the other 3, he just got recently arraigned on.
Right.
All through the other 3 in April of this year.
Right.
And then 2 out of the 3 of them have a failure to appear on those. But because my understanding is like the consent decree that they won't immediately put in a capias bond. So at this point, the bond is still standing at a personal bond, but there's nothing in the ROA showing after the 30th of anything. So that's why I'm asking, because these are all retail frauds. These are all occurring one after another. We're going back to 2019, and that he does not appear. And so that's why I'm asking for a tether. But I'm not even asking for conditions on that tether. But if he's not working, I would ask for a curfew.
All right, here's what we'll do. Sir, while this case is pending, you are not to go to any Family Dollar store. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, tether, curfew on the tether will be 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. You need to show up for these cases. Court will set bond at $500 personal. Next court date, May 27th, pretrial in front of Judge Bryant here in 36th District Court. Thank you, sir. You can step aside. Okay, now, Bates, who's in the courtroom? Bush? Uh-huh.
It is.
Jack, yes,
I'm sorry, Bush and who? What's your name, man? Who's Bush? Okay, and what's your name?
I am Ashley, but I'm here for somebody else.
Oh, okay, and how about you, man? Okay, all right, let's do Miss Bush. State your name for the record, please. Thank you. This is case 25-045-155, State of Michigan versus Cornisha Yvonne Bush. Counsel.
Thank you, Magistrate. Steve Benson for the people.
I'm bringing on behalf of Ms. Bush, waive the written stand view. Ms. Bush has been advised of her rights, Judge.
Court will enter not guilty plea on your client's behalf as to bond.
Magistrate, as you can see, I have an incident date in December of 23. I have a warrant that was entered at the end of April of 25. It's the first OWI. The PBT I see is a 0.11 at that time. She's being supervised through Third Circuit. Judge McCarthy has a conviction for an FA. I think at this time, a personal bond would suffice. Any conditions you feel appropriate, though, Magistrate, we'll leave that up to you.
Thank you.
She did appear today, Judge. Earl walked in and found out about this outstanding work. I would just ask for the personal bond and that she not drive her.
Okay. All right, Ms. Bush, while this case is pending, you are not to consume alcohol at any time, understand?
Yes, sir.
Additionally, you're not to drive without a valid driver's license. Court will set bond at $1,000 personal, and next court date will be a pre-trial on May 28th in front of Judge Bryant here in 36th District Court. If you have a seat, we'll get you some paperwork. Thank you. All right, and who just, okay, what's her name? Matthew? Pam, if you want to step up to the podium. Your name for the record, please. All right, and we're going to start with a traffic ticket where you missed the court date. When you missed that court date, excuse me, judge issued an arrest warrant for you. You do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You also have the right to an attorney. And if you cannot afford an attorney, the court will provide one for you. You understand those, right? All right, this will be ticket P 1111522 with charge of driving while license suspended and disregarding an officer's signal. These are both misdemeanor charges. Maximum penalty you face on each is up to 93 days in jail and or $500 fine. I'm gonna set aside the arrest warrant, enter a not guilty plea on your behalf, give you a personal bond. Your next court date will be May 27th for a pretrial in front of Judge Wagner here in 36th District Court. Madam Clerk? Madam Clerk? Madam Clerk?
Yes, sir.
I've only got the MIT for count one on that ticket.
Okay.
All right. Your other matter today is 25044892 State of Michigan versus Talitha Kiera Matthews Council.
Thank you, Magistrate. Stevenson for the people.
For the record, Christina Harris, P 52857, on behalf of Talitha Matthews, stands to my right. She stands to me based upon the reading of the complaint, and Ms. Matthews has been advised of and understands her statutory and constitutional rights.
Thank you. Court will enter a not guilty plea on your client's behalf as to bond.
Magistrate, kind of similar dates as the previous defendant. I have an incident date in January of 24, lien that was entered in March of 25. The charge here is a little bit more substantial than the prior individual before you. This is the operating with the high BAC. We do appreciate the fact that the defendant walked in, but she did end up causing a one-car crash. The PBT showed a 0.21. I don't have any priors regarding this individual. Our recommendation would be an alcohol tether. We would leave it up to you, not objecting to a personal.
Thank you.
In response, have no objection to a personal bond. Ms. Matthews is a life resident of this area. She has family ties. She lives with her family. She's a high school graduate. She is employed. She has no criminal history whatsoever, no pending cases, no contacts at all with the criminal justice system. She works at an auto manufacturer on a full-time basis, and we're asking for no tether. She understands the importance of returning for all court hearing dates. She hasn't had any alcohol-related incidents since this incident date of 1/21/24. So we're asking for no tether. Thank you.
Okay, we'll start with the easy part. While this case is pending, you are not to consume alcohol at any time. Is that clear? Apparently the data master was 0.21, which is extremely high. I would typically require a alcohol tether for something that high, but you walk in here on your own. So we'll let the judge decide what sort of restrictions to put on you. So yeah, no driving without a valid license, no consumption of alcohol. Court will set bond in this matter at $5,000 personal. Next court date is May 27 for a pretrial in front of Judge Bryant here in 36th District Court. If you have a seat, we'll get you some paperwork. Madam Clerk?
Yes, sir.
You gave me one for the first county. No problem. And Bates, is there anybody else in the courtroom that's ready?
No, they still in the back.
Okay. All right, Mr. Reagan, we've got Mr. Walker back. What did you want to? Anything you wanted to say with him?
I just wanted to talk about his job too, Judge. I know one of the things you did, the record, Philip, on behalf of Ernest Walker. Judge, I just wanted you to know a little bit about Walker. I understand you put an alcohol tether on him. I don't know how long that's going to take to get, Judge. I would note that he's employed at Detroit Manufacturing Systems. He's a supervisor. He works 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Needs to get to work as soon as possible, Judge. Has 4 children at home, 16, 13, 12, and 5. lives in the city of Detroit, Judge. You know, I don't know how long it takes to get an alcohol tether. I don't want him to miss work. It's a high school graduate, Judge. So, you know, that's one of the things that I wanted the court to know. You know, because I know that the court might not have had that information initially, Judge, but I want the court to know that about Mr. Walker.
So, all right, well, I mean, all that being the case, when I initially asked you if you were going to appear on the case, you said no, so
Well, Judge,
why didn't you just,
I did, and I apologize, Judge. The reason why I didn't is because the court is mandated, you know, for all city tickets to get personal bonds. But when you start changing, adding conditions like adding a tether, I just want to be able to make the argument, because if he wasn't getting a tether, Judge, I wouldn't need to say anything. But because he's getting a tether, that adds to things outside of what the agreement was for what the court in terms of giving personal bonds. So when I had to, you know, that's the only reason why I wanted to go back and talk to you, or talk to him, Judge, so I can give you some information, so you can get more information about him.
so let's just, man, first. You gave me count one again.
Oh, that's just the back one. I'm sorry. Get your counsel.
Okay, thank you. Where's this idea that we're mandated to give personal bonds, Mr. Reagan?
Well, Judge, I thought that's the directive for tickets and for people who get rain with tickets. And I mean, I could be wrong, Judge, but that was my thoughts, that it was a personal bond. Everybody gets personal bond for the tickets.
Yeah, and it is a personal bond. I said 5,000 personal. So I mean, I don't know where this whole thing about.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah, a tether is a restriction, though, Judge. Even though it may be a slight restriction, it goes a little bit over the personal bond element. I just wanted you to have some information, Judge, and I didn't get a chance to do that initially. And that's why I just wanted to back in, so you would know a little bit more about Mr. Walker.
All right. Well, allegedly, Mr. Walker's blood alcohol is 0.21, and so I'm very comfortable leaving the alcohol tether on at this point.
Oh, I understand,
Okay.
Judge. I have no problem with that, Judge. I just wanted you to have all that information, that's all, so that you could, know everything. Because I didn't make an
I
argument.
appreciate you. I appreciate you enlightening the court, Mr. Reagan. You know, I always want to deal with the maximum amount of information I can possibly have. Thank you, Mr. Walker. You can step aside, sir. Yes. I'm sorry, what?
Trying to explain. I wasn't got put in here. I was pulled out of my front yard. I wasn't.
I can't hear. I can't hear.
Yeah, the mics are so bad over there. He was saying something about being pulled out of his front yard, and that he wasn't driving.
Driving, this is old. And I got pulled out of my front yard when I got brought into here.
Oh, right. So this event took place in 2022, allegedly. You're saying you got arrested on this warrant recently, right?
Yes, out of my yard.
All right. Okay. When were you pulled out of your yard? A couple days ago?
Friday.
Okay. All right. You'll be okay. You're all set, sir. We'll see you back on the 27th.
That's all, the man. I'll be trying to female side.
Okay, sounds good. Okay, so they break the fingerprinting machine or what?
Ready for the females, Your Honor?
Yeah, ready for the females.
Akoma Walker,
Thank you. All right, this is case 25-045-291, State of Michigan versus Alcuma B.B. Walker, counsel.
Thank you, Magistrate Stevenson, for the people.
Of Ms. Walker would waive the formal reading, stand mute. She has been advised of her rights, Judge.
Court will enter a not guilty plea on your client's behalf as to bond.
Magistrate, recent incident, so for that reason, we would be asking for a no contact. However, this defendant doesn't have any priors that I ended up finding. It was a domestic dispute. But fortunately, I didn't see any injuries either to the complaining witness. So at that time, this time, we would be asking for the no contact, no objection to a personal.
No objection.
Thank you. Does she have somewhere else she can live?
Yes, she does, Judge. She has a 3-month-old, so we're just asking for one-time escort so she can get some items. She can have another place to live.
Okay, ma'am, while this case is pending, you're to have no contact with Mr. Baker. Is that clear? And additionally, no contact with the Dean Street address. I will allow for a one-time police escort if you need to go over there and obtain some personal items. Understand?
I have a question.
Mr. Reagan, do you want to address that?
Is it a question about getting items or?
Yeah.
Yes, you can, they'll take, the police will get the items for one time.
So what about everything else? Because I moved in with him. I live there.
So, right, so one time, get enough stuff that you need until the next court date, then it can be addressed at the next court date. Contact. Right now, it's no contact.
Okay, because he has been there and has 60 days anyway. But okay,
Well, yeah, just no contact with, you don't want to have contact at all.
okay.
Okay. Court set bond of $1,000 personal. Next court date is May 22 for a pretrial in front of Judge Garrett. That's going to be an in-person hearing here at 36th District Court. Thank you, Ms. Walker. You can step aside. Okay, Bates, who do we have? Okay, let's get Mr. Hollins, please.
State your full name, man.
All right, Ms. Ford, we'll be with you in a moment. We're going to do a couple here in the courtroom.
Yes, sir.
And your name for the record, sir. Thank you. This will be case 25-057-110, State of Michigan versus Samuel Lee Hollins, counsels.
Good afternoon, Lisa Coyle appearing on behalf of the people.
Yeah, Peter, I'm please support. I'm Ezra Goldman, P48965 on behalf of Mr. Hollins.
Do you waive formal reading?
Yes, please, and stand mute.
Court will enter not guilty on the client's behalf as to bond.
Your Honor, the people are recommending a 10,000 personal with an alcohol tether. I do note that this is back from April of 24, but I noticed it wasn't submitted to the prosecutor's office till April of 25. But this was a traffic stop. His blood alcohol level was a 194. And pursuant to an inventory search, they found a gun. And what I found was he had a prior 2000 GBH felony firearm. So for that reason, Your Honor, because of the high blood alcohol level, and I'd also ask for a condition of no driving without a valid license.
And defense counsel.
Your Honor, I really can't object to any of that. I mean, the personal bond, $5,000, perfectly fine with us. I had warned and we had expected that there would be some kind of testing because we know this is charged high BAC. And that he doesn't drive without a valid license is incumbent on all of us anyway. Mr. Hollins is a trainer for new hires in Happy's Pizza, and also a traveling softball coach. So his parents are there. I think they're in the courtroom. He will faithfully appear at every court appearance. Although I would mention I'm on my way to Europe right now. I'll be away for 8 days. Here's hoping the PCC doesn't get set while I'm gone.
Okay. You're leaving for Europe like as we speak, or?
My wife is driving me to the airport as we speak.
Okay.
Lucky you.
Can you or someone in your office assist Mr. Hollins in getting an alcohol tether within 48 hours?
Would he do that privately or from the jail? I'm a little afraid to do it at the jail because sometimes they hold people until they have one ready.
Yeah, no, he would go over to the new jail facility and they would fit it to him there. I don't think that they would hold him, it's my understanding.
Easy enough.
Okay.
I'll text him the info, no problem.
Okay, sounds good. I certainly hope they don't hold him. That kind of defeats the point of walking in, right? All right, sir, while this case is pending, you're not to use alcohol at any time. You're also not to possess a firearm at any time. And you do need to present yourself to the new Wayne County Criminal Facility on the I-75 service drive within 48 hours to have a alcohol tether fitted. Do you understand all that?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, court will set bond at $10,000 personal. Next court dates will be May 22, probable cause conference, May 28, preliminary exam. Both of those will be in front of Judge Jefferson here in 36th District Court. Anything else for this record?
Nothing further, thank you.
Your Honor, May 22nd, and that is 8:30, I presume?
Yes.
All right, and does, if the court knows, does Judge Jefferson do the PCCs by Zoom or in person?
I think they're still by Zoom. Is Jefferson still doing PCCs by Zoom? Madam Clerk? What, Madam Clerk?
Serena, yes, Judge, I'm sorry.
Is Jefferson still doing her PCCs by Zoom?
Yeah, it's on Zoom for Judge Jefferson, I know that.
Okay, yes, the PCC will be Zoom.
Thank you very much for that, Your Honor.
All right, have a great day. And
Your Honor.
if you have a seat, sir, we'll get you some paperwork. And did you say Gardner's ready? All right, come on up. And your name for the record, sir?
Good, Your Honor, my counsel or my client?
Your client.
State your name, correct.
Marvin Gardner. Thank you. This will be case 25-045-015, State of Michigan versus Marvin Glenn Gardner, counsel.
Thank you, Magistrate. Good afternoon, Steve Vincent for the people.
Good afternoon, senior staff, Your Honor. Hussein Bazzi, PA 5891, appearing on behalf of and with Mr. Gardner. State your name for the record, sir.
Marvin Gardner.
Thank you, Your Honor. For purposes of arraignment, my client waived one arraignment request.
Court will enter not guilty plea on your client's behalf as to bond, beginning with Mr. Vincent.
Thank you, Magistrate. You know, Magistrate, we have an incident date in December of 2023, and I have a lien that was just entered about a month ago. But, you know, when you talk about this kind of charge of stalking, it's a very serious charge, not leaving somebody alone. There were allegations that this defendant apparently wasn't leaving this gal alone up until this time, and she ended up making a report. Now, with all of that being said, I do appreciate the fact defense counsel's there. I do appreciate the fact defendant's walked himself in. I don't have any priors on this gentleman. So with all of that being said, Magistrate, we're not going to object to a personal. We would be asking you to order a strict no contact with the complaining witness through the pendency of the case and any other conditions you feel appropriate.
Thank you.
No objection to that request. Personal bond with standard bond conditions are accepted. To the extent that the court wishes to hear from counsel with respect to bond, I could certainly do so, but I believe personal bond is going to be set. If I'm wrong, I stand corrected. Please let me know.
Yeah, no, with the people asking for personal, that's what we'll do. I'm just trying to figure out if what else to put in here, if anything. Hey, Mr. Gardner, I don't know what was going on in that relationship, but I would suggest that it's over and you need to leave her alone. Some of the allegations here are pretty disturbing. And, things like, flattening all four tires and all four tires on a second vehicle parked in front of her house, and then admitting that she did it in pain to repair the damages. You gotta stop. You gotta stop. You got a good lawyer here. This lady doesn't want to be bothered with you anymore. And you gotta just move on. It's as simple as that, okay? All right, no contact with Ms. Farr, no contact with the Albany Street address. I'm not at this time going to do anything like put a tether on you. Does your client still live in Monroe?
Yes, sir.
Hang out in Monroe. There's no need to come up here and allegedly continue to harass this lady. Court will set bond at $20,000 personal. Next court date will be May 28th for a pretrial in front of Judge Bryant. Anything else for this record?
No, thank you.
Your Honor, time, 9 a.m., 1 p.m.
8:30. Yeah.
Great day to you, sir.
Have a great day. What about Solomon Martin? And I've got no court officer. Okay, DDC, we can come back to you.
/4.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And Ms. Ford, we're gonna start with some tickets where you missed some court dates. When you miss those dates, the judge issued an arrest warrant for you. You do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You also have the right to an attorney, and if you cannot afford an attorney, the court will provide one for you. Do you understand those rights, Ms. Ford?
Yes.
Thank you. Give me one moment, and I'll give you a new date for all these tickets.
I'm supposed to pay tickets, Your Honor, on disability.
All right, well, I'm gonna give you a personal bond on these tickets, so you won't need to pay to get out, at least not for the tickets. I don't know what else you have in front of me. But let me get through these. I'm gonna give you a new date and then show up for that date, and you'll have an attorney there and you can work through it at that time. So our first ticket is P 1391193, charge of entering a vacant dwelling without owner's permission. P 1442912, loitering. P 1700270, supplying false information to a police officer and possession of drug paraphernalia. U 645-10522, entering without owner's permission. U 686-98724, loitering in place of illegal occupation. U 617-81121. Trespassing. These are all misdemeanor charges. Maximum penalty you face on each is up to 93 days in jail and or $500 fine. I'm going to set aside the arrest warrants, enter not guilty plea on your behalf, give you a personal bond. Your next court date is a pretrial May 27 in front of Judge Williams here in 36th District Court. Then we've got case 25. Let's see, we've got two matters. And let's do the misdemeanor first. It'll be 25-045274. State of Michigan versus Crystal Lavella Celeste Ford counsels, and this is the fingerprint refusal case.
Lisa Coyle, appearing on behalf of the people.
For the record, on behalf of Ms. Ford, Your Honor, waive the reading stand mute. She's been advised of her rights.
Court will enter not guilty plea on your client's behalf as to bond.
Your Honor, no objection to a personal with the condition that she is fingerprinted.
No objection, Your Honor.
Thank you. All right, as to this case only, bond will be set at 1,000 personal with a condition that you be fingerprinted before you can be released. You understand that, ma'am?
Yes, sir.
Next court date on this one will be May 27 for a pretrial in front of Judge Bryant here in 36th District Court. Your other matter today is case number 25-057595, State of Michigan versus Crystal Lavella Celeste Ford Counsel.
Mr. Coyle, appearing on behalf of the people.
For the record, on behalf of Ms. Ford, Your Honor, again, waive the reading stand mute. She's been advised of her rights.
Thank you. Court will enter a not guilty plea on your client's behalf as to bond.
Your Honor, the people are recommending a 50,000 cash surety with the tether house arrest if she's able to make that bond. And the following reasons: she has a very assaultive record. She has a 2-count R&O from 2005, a 2017 great bodily harm in which she received prison time, and she was sentenced in June of 24 for an R&O. Her original sentence was 3 years probation with inpatient treatment. I do note on that case, Your Honor, she also, that case has a capious history. That case started with a $5,000 bond, personal, I'm sorry, and then she failed to appear in at least twice in that matter. She also had a tether violation. They closed that probation 6 months after they began it, after a violation of probation. That was in front of Judge Thomas. So it's with Judge Blounce now, that docket, but the probation appears to be closed. But it is a very assaultive record. This case is also highly assaultive. It's a armed robbery with a serious injury in which she's taking items out of the store. She has an assaultive incident with the complainant, Delbrada Day, which she's leaving with a rug and clothing. She was pinned down until the officers arrived, and that's when she started resisting arrest, and she hit Officer Pencil in the face with a empty liquor bottle of glass. And he was bleeding from the mouth, and that injury required stitches in his mouth. And I also noticed she spat on both officers. I also note in a prior case in 2024, Your Honor, there was a competency eval. Now, it didn't say anything as a result of that. The ROA was not, but there seems to be a mental health component in there. But here, this is the reason I'm asking for that high surety bond, is because she's had a long history of assaultive nature. She started back in 2005, continued to 2017, and as recent as 6-7 months ago, she just got off of probation for this, Your Honor, another R&O, and here she's assaulting 2 officers. She's spitting in their face, and she actually used a bottle as a weapon in order to try to resist arrest. So for those reasons, people believe that she is not only a danger to the officers, but she's a danger to the community, and I'm asking for that bond as well as the tether house arrest if she's able to make that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Judge, my client's 43, does have some priors, as Ms. Coyle did state. I'm asking the judge for personal bond, whatever conditions the court wishes to impose. No contact with Captain J's. I guess it's situation along with the police officers. She understands she's not to go back there, doesn't want contact with police. That would be my request. She's on social security disability. I would also agree there may be some mental health issues that are very distinct to why these allegations are coming about. So I am asking for the no contact. If there is any medication, to make that a condition, to take medication, whatever the court wishes to do in terms of restrictions, Judge. We wouldn't object, Judge, with a personal bond.
Yeah, allegations here, and I agree with both counsels, there do appear to be some mental health concerns. And obviously she went for a psych eval previously. Unfortunately, we don't know what that recommendation was at that time. And of course, perhaps her condition has changed from that time. So I don't know how much help that information will be on today's date. So here's what we will do. While this case is pending, you are not to go back to the Gratiot Avenue address where these allegations arose. Should you post bond, you will be on a GPS tether on house arrest, and bond will be $50,000, 10%. I'll give you a bond redetermination hearing on Wednesday, May 14, in front of Chief Judge McConico. Further dates are May 23rd, probable cause conference, May 29, preliminary exam, both in front of Judge Taylor here in 36th District Court. Thank you, Ms. Ford. You can step aside.
That was 50,000, 10%?
Correct.
Thank you.
Yep. And Rach, what happened to the walk-in, Martin? Okay. Alrighty. All they had is a retail fraud. So while we're doing this last one at DDC, maybe just pop out in the hallway real quick. Good afternoon. What's your name, please?
Hello, Ryan Tarver.
Thank you. And we're going to start with some traffic tickets that you missed some court dates on. And when you miss those dates, the judge issued an arrest warrant for you. You do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You also have the right to an attorney, and if you cannot afford an attorney, court will provide one for you. Do you understand those rights?
Yes.
All right, first ticket is P 1348488, charge of driving while license suspended. P 1411272, no insurance misdemeanor. And 284492, disobeys lawful order of a police officer. These are all misdemeanor charges. Maximum penalty you face on each is up to 93 days in jail and or $500 fine. I'm going to set aside the arrest warrants. Enter not guilty plea on your behalf, give you a personal bond. Your next court date for these is a pretrial May 27th in front of Judge Ramsey Heath here in 36th District Court. Your other matter today is 25045292, State of Michigan versus Lorraine Faye Tarver. Counsel.
Thank you, Magistrate Steve Benson for the people.
Right, on behalf of Ms. Tarver, Your Honor, waive the reading stamp due. She's been advised of her rights.
Enter not guilty plea on your client's behalf as to bond.
Magistrate, here, we're not going to be objecting to the personal. We would be asking for a no contact. I believe it's a Marathon gas station. I don't know the address offhand. I think it's in the report. If we can get that, no objection to that personal.
No objection, Your Honor.
All right, while this case is pending, no contact with the Marathon gas station involved in these allegations. Court will set bond at $500 personal. Next court date, May 25th. Madam Clerk, same issue. The mid says 25, the sticker says 28.
Typo, so it's the 28th.
It's the 28th.
I'll make sure it's corrected in the file.
Okay, thanks.
Thank
Next court date is a pretrial, May 28th, in front of Judge Bryant here at 36th District Court. Thank you, Ms. Tarver. You can step aside. Okay, DDC, that's everybody, right?
That's all of Your Honor.
All right, thanks. Councils, we did have one other walk-in, but my court officer has gone out multiple times to look for him in the hallway, and apparently he has declined to come in. Mr. Reagan, had you spoken with him, or?
We did, Judge, go out and look for him as well. No response earlier, a little while ago, so we have not gotten a chance to speak with him, Judge.
Okay, well, I guess that wraps it up unless he walks back in.
Okay,
All
thank
right.
you.
Your Honor, in that matter, if he walked in, the people are not appearing. It's a retail fraud.